Coming up, you're going to see the power of custom product pages, not just for Apple search ads, but for your organic keyword rankings as well. Stay tuned. What is up, App Nation? It is your boy, Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.com. And in this video, we're going to really break down Apple's new feature called custom product pages, how you can use it to really decrease your cost per installs for a particular keyword, and how it ties in to that keyword's organic rankings. Joining me today is Emery Bolchich of Mobile Action and searchads.com, and we really get into the weeds of how to properly set up custom product pages, because I did it all wrong when I first tested it out, and that's probably why I didn't see any improvements. But he firmly believes in using these custom product pages, so he's going to break it down. We're going to get into the weeds. You're going to learn a ton and hopefully start using them to lower your cost per installs. Now, let's get to it.
All right. I do want to talk about custom product pages moving forward a little bit, since it's something that people are testing out and seeing, and why I'm including this on the ASO ASA side of things. Custom product pages definitely is a paid user channel, but the kind of concepts that we know and the kind of good, the best practices that we have on the ASO side, especially when it comes to screenshot icon optimizations, is applicable here, right? So what we are going to be able to do through custom product pages, we have 35 different variants that we can run in, the particular ad groups that we mentioned earlier on. So we're able to create intent-based product pages. This is something that is gigantic and has a great impact. We've seen the effects there. Like from one of the previous examples that we were looking at, custom product page implementation suddenly resulted in a massive uplift in tap-through rates and conversion rates for some of these clients. It's super important to be utilizing these features, and this is something that is very, very useful when you're utilizing Apple Search Ads. If you do this right, guaranteed your conversion rates are going to be increasing, guaranteed your tap-through rates are going to be increasing, and understandably your CPAs are going to be going down. Who doesn't want that, right? So this is something that we have. And one example that I want to leave you off of here for the CPPs, this is a app that we have in the finance category, and this is the kind of better results that we were able to see. Almost a 300% uplift in install to impression ratio, 18% increase in conversion rates, 235% increase in tap-through rates, and an overall decrease of 26% in terms of CPA. So this is just one example. Of course, these results can vary from person to person, but there hasn't been one case where we did this right and it did not improve these results. So simply because, why is the CPA getting affected? Because even if we have a set amount of impressions, if the conversion rate is higher, getting more installs with the same traffic is costing us less to get those kind of people. The particular potential users that might be coming in. So this is a result that we've been seeing. This is what we've been seeing so far when it comes to Apple Search as an ASO. Definitely look into conversion rates and tap-through rates. Those are something that people neglect a lot. And yeah, when you're utilizing Apple Search Ads, you have control over the entirety of the state.
I love it. Hey, one thing I want to mention is, for those who are not familiar with some of these terms, tap-through rates is just taps over impressions. And when we're talking about conversion rates here, it's taps to installs. So we're not talking about install, when people think about conversion, it's not like subscription revenue, all that stuff. So it's taps to installs. It's like the relevancy, right? Like, I'm tapping your ad, I'm actually going to download your app. So the higher the conversion rate, the better it is for you. And you don't want to keep paying for taps, because that's how you're paying for them. You're paying for the taps. And so you want a really high conversion rate. Hey, Emery, I want to pause a little bit. So when you're talking about custom product pages, is it a simple, let's just say this finance app, and let's use the money management as an example. So we have terms around money management. And so we have screenshots that talk more about money management. For example, money management, have that as a first screenshot, budget tracker, expense tracker, all that stuff. Is it as simple as just the words? Or are you doing anything else in terms of colors and all that stuff? Is it just the words and moving over different screenshots to the first three? And is that what you guys are doing for this finance?
It's what we're suggesting, of course, when it comes to driving this kind of intent, right? What we're trying to do, like we said, going over with the money management and the budget tracker and those kind of things. We try to include. We do suggest have images in there that are going to be relevant to this particular term as well. that don't like necessarily go ahead and have the exact same structure and just change the wording in those screenshots, but definitely do take the extra step, and you will see the rewards of that as well by customizing. Basically, thinking of this. Think of your app as a money management and budget tracker only. How would you make your screenshots? How would you make your icon, right? How would you create these structures, descriptions? That's the kind of mentality that you should be having, and that's how you should be, moving forward when you're creating these custom product pages, because that's the target that you're trying to achieve, right? So for someone who's searching for that app and seeing your custom product page, that's what you're trying to tell them. I'm great in these. See what I can do. Here are all of the stuff that I'm able to do. Here's all of the nice images. Here are all of the nice words that you were looking for. And they're like, okay, great. I found the exact perfect thing that I was looking for in the App Store. And they're happy, and you get a user, for a significantly lower cost, 26%, like we've seen in the finance category. Just going, building up on that example, let's go back to the health and fitness side. If somebody who's tracking, looking for weight loss, right? Calorie tracker, weight loss, cardio exercises, etc. Those are the things that that person is looking for, not necessarily having a six-pack straight away, or maybe building and bulking, right? Like someone who's doing bodybuilding would be doing. And not someone who's doing bodybuilding and in the bulking season would be looking at great cardio exercises, right? So that's how you should be aiming it. Whatever the intent is that you have in that particular group, that's what your app is trying to tell them. The user that comes in, you're basically trying to tell them, okay, this product is great for these, according to that intent. So that's what you should be doing.
So essentially, create brand new screenshots, right? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Like a brand new presence specifically for this.
It will be the best practice.
One thing I want to talk about with the custom product pages is what's the best way to set up these custom product pages. So for those who aren't familiar, it's you can create a custom product page. You can actually link it up to Apple search ads. We had one client where we're running the normal campaigns with the basic default images. And then I paused that campaign, created a custom product page campaign. Now, if I remember correctly, the custom product pages have to be in a particular ad group. And so I ended up pausing it, creating another campaign, and then creating the 3 different ad groups for the different sort of categories. And so just moving images around and highlighting some of the different features that were specific to the keywords. I actually didn't see a huge improvement. And maybe it's just because I set up the campaigns wrong, but how do you guys go about using custom product pages if you already have an existing campaign that's running?
Right, cool. That's a great question. So one of the things that I really do want to talk about here is what you did mention, pausing and restarting campaigns. This is going to be like a little bit of a pro tip. When you do that on Apple side, they don't really treat you well when you do that. So it's not okay, well, let's continue where we left off kind of improvement and like performance when you see the kind of pause and start. What we do, especially with our clients, right now what we're doing when we're setting up these campaigns, we do it from scratch. We do it maybe in 3 months in the future, 6 months in the future, we're going to be basically doing a custom product page for this particular ad group. And we create our ad groups under the specific campaigns that we have. Let's say in this case, like the generic campaign. We create certain groups according to intent, and then we set it up according to that. But like, from the question and from your point of view, what do we do with an existing campaign, right? I would already assume when you're doing Apple searches, I would already assume that you're grouping certain groups of words according to a certain metric or like a specification, right? It could be that you have a health and fitness app, you have a group of words that you're targeting for weight loss, there is a group of words that you're targeting for muscle gain, etc., and stuff like that. So through those ad groups that we have, what we will be doing is implementing that according to the intent that we see for the majority of the keywords there, and that's how we will be implementing those particular images in those particular ad groups to see the kind of improvement there. Because unless we match up the keyword, the search intent with the creatives itself, it's not going to be working really well, understandably. So yeah.
Got it. Stupid mistake. Don't start and pause. We actually did that for the client. The thing that we generally do, maybe this is the bad approach, Emery, so I want to clear this up too, is I've always just bucketed all our exact match campaign keywords into one ad group. I've never broken it out. So that's how I've been doing it. And that's why I felt like I needed to pause. They weren't in specific ad groups. They were just all bucketed into the exact match campaign and exact match ad group. And so that's how I've been doing it. Are you saying that's not the right way to do it then?
Not necessarily. I
Not
would definitely
optimal.
go with a very simple structure. Go with branded terms, generic terms, competitor terms, and have a discovery campaign. When you're creating those campaigns, do it with those four granular approach. Because if you mix and match all of those terms together, like for example, you're going to have a campaign that have all of the exact matches in, and then you're going to see, oh, great, my CPA is like $1 only. But you're going to notice that 75% of the spend that's coming in through that campaign is going to be for your branded term. And if that's the case, then understandably, your
Well, we do
CPAs are
have
going to be
branded. We do
lower.
have branded mixed up somewhere
Great.
else, but I'm saying like in terms of when you were back to your weight loss, it wasn't like weight loss. It was weight loss, muscle gain, all in one ad group versus
Right.
yeah. We do say branded should be in its own campaign. So just want to
Yeah,
clear that up.
definitely. Okay, great, great. I was scared of it at that point. But yeah.
That's a
All
rookie
right.
mistake, man. It won't be.
All right. Okay. Cool. So for the generic side, definitely, I do understand Apple said that, but even when you do this according to intent, like keep it in this mind. When you have a certain product out there, a certain app out there, you want to be targeting certain people according to what they want to be finding in the app as well, right? That's their intent. That's what they want to do. So when you have that kind of granular approach to your user base and your potential user base, then you're able to track what is performing well, what is not performing well when it comes to the features that you have within the app as well. Like I said, going on with the health and fitness example here, maybe weight loss is significantly better performing. Why? Maybe your health, fitness side and weight loss kind of section of your app is significantly stronger than the competition. Muscle gain is not performing that very well. Maybe because it's within the app that there is the issue. The muscle gain side is not working that very well and it's not generating that much revenue. So when you have your own app and when you have, you're looking at in this kind of view, you kind of group the kind of people that are coming in as much as possible to have a better idea and a better sense of who's going to be coming where, what kind of cost is coming from for my side, what kind of cost am I facing for these kind of particular groups, and is it a good idea to focus on this or not?
You have a suggestion on what's the best way? So let's say I'm like, oh shoot, I just learned this from memory. I have to change my campaign structure now. Do I take the existing campaign that I have with all the exact, so these are like competitors and generic terms, and then pause that campaign? Do I pause that ad group, create those different ad groups? What would you suggest?
What I would definitely do, rather than doing it all at once,
Yeah.
just to prevent that kind of sudden change, what I would be doing is if you have multiple different ad groups with multiple different keywords under those ad groups, I would definitely be pausing the ad group, pulling those keywords in, putting it into one section, running that for a while, so it starts to catch up to where it left off. Notify the kind of changes that I had from before, then continue on doing it according to that, and basically creating that structure one by one. If I do it the other way, suddenly you might be faced with really unrealistic and something that you're not very used to metrics that you're seeing on the platform. Conversion rates could be going down, your CPA levels could be jumping really high up, your impressions could be going super low, which is going to be affecting everything else as well, right? So the best kind of approach that I would have there is slowly but surely, steadily moving over to that next side.
This is why I love doing this, because I'm like, oh shoot, I messed up. That's what my big thing was. Now I'm like super excited about, for me after this, super excited about custom product pages, especially for like bigger clients where we're running a lot of budget for. I'm like, oh man, now I got to go back and really study how to properly set it up so I don't just pause this campaign. And I got to really, you sold me on these ad groups, man. I thought they were just more difficult to manage. Apple's like, just combine them all to one. It's just way easier to manage. Now I'm kind of like, oh shoot, I probably should separate them into the different ad groups so that we can see, like the money management versus receipt scanner versus invoicing, have those different keywords into different ad groups as well. Emery, if the audience wants to connect with you in any other way, do you want to send them anywhere else?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me on LinkedIn if you want to send me a message. If you want to get more details on that, definitely find me up and you can add me in there. You can reach me out through my emails. And yeah, basically, if you just go into the website, click on the little chat box there and write something there, I'm probably going to be seeing it.
Oh yeah, right here, huh?
Yeah.
It's
So
you.
just write there and say like, I want to talk to you, Emre, and I will be responding to you like a magician.
Ruya is great as well. So really great team from Mobile Action. Go check them out. It is mobileaction.co. Emery, thank you so much for coming on and doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very nice to be on the show. So great to be here too. Thanks.
Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.